Are you ready to turn your best ideas into a thriving online business?
Introducing Shopify, your no excuses business partner. You might not realize, but our podcast, More Than Mommies, it's a business. And we started it, of course, to talk about maternity, not to become an e-commerce expert.
So yeah, we needed some help selling our merch and getting our store up and running. Woohoo! Another sale!
Shopify is a commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide.
No matter if you are a garage entrepreneur or a big business, Shopify is the only tool you need to start and grow your business without the struggle.
With Shopify's single dashboard, you can manage orders, shipping, and payments from anywhere, giving you the insights you need wherever you are. Sign up for $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/sonoro, all lowercase.
Go to shopify.com/sonoro to take your business to the next level today.
Shopify.com/sonoro.
Are you ready to turn your best ideas into a thriving online business?
Introducing Shopify, your no excuses business partner. You might not realize, but our podcast, More Than Mommies, it's a business. And we started it, of course, to talk about maternity, not to become an e-commerce expert.
So yeah, we needed some help selling our merch and getting our store up and running. Woohoo! Another sale!
Shopify is a commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide.
No matter if you are a garage entrepreneur or a big business, Shopify is the only tool you need to start and grow your business without the struggle.
With Shopify's single dashboard, you can manage orders, shipping, and payments from anywhere, giving you the insights you need wherever you are. Sign up for $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/sonoro, all lowercase.
Go to shopify.com/sonoro to take your business to the next level today.
Shopify.com/sonoro.
Welcome to another episode of the Brown and Black podcast. My name is Jack Rico.
And I'm Mike Sargent.
And every week we take a look at race and pop culture through a brown and black lens. Mike, this week we have a very special guest star. She is Afro-Latina singer Daymé Arocena. And she came into my consciousness because as an Afro-Latina, you don't see many Afro-Latinas in the music industry right now, especially in Latin music.
Absolutely.
And she's unique, Mike, because how many times have you heard of an Afro-Latina being compared to Celia Cruz? And then head into mainstream soul and be compared to Aretha Franklin, Ella Fitzgerald at the same time. She has a Grammy nomination already under her belt. She represents Cuba on the world stage, and she's now based in Puerto Rico. And this is where we're now having the interview where they're in this transition where she's emigrated from one country to the other. And the name of the album that she has out now is called Alkemi. And it marks a major shift in her career. But I think what's most interesting about this album is where it finds her and her mindset. For me, Mike, this was probably one of the most emotionally piercing interviews I've had with an artist.
It's also one of the most honest, revealing, candid, and upfront interviews that I think that we've ever had. This is a history-making woman. And I think what she's doing today will be remembered decades from now.
She opens up about her struggles as a Black Latina woman in this industry, especially calling out the pop music industry, body image, how we perceive Black skin, how we perceive Latina women with Black skin. How has that all influenced the way she sees herself as an artist? And what kind of reclamation does a Black Latina woman in the music industry today have to go through? She breaks this all down, Mike. And the first question I asked Daymé is, why is this album important to the music industry? And why the title Alkemi?
Alkemi is the journey of my life, musically, spiritually, as a woman, as a human being. And there are many topics inside alchemy. First of all, alchemy means transformation and transmutation. So I needed to transform many things in my life, in my mindset, in my way to see life, love, all of that. And also in my way to see music. And for that, I had to leave the pandemic. At the very beginning, for me, the pandemic was like the most destroying moment of my life because it was mixed with the immigration process. I left the island of Cuba in 2019. And just a few months after that, the war collapsed and I wasn't able to do my job, do my music, perform anything. So we, it was such a, for me, the hardest moment of my life, but it allowed me to stop. When you stop and when you have time to think, then you say, oh, okay, this is what I want to do now. This is what I think I would like to change of myself. But you need that opportunity because sometimes you are going so fast in life and you don't have time to think about what you are doing. In my case, there was a moment that I saw that being a musician and being a well-respected musician was all about my skills, my way to perform, my cat improvisation, my knowledge of rhythm and rumba. And there was a certain way of judgment to myself all the time that didn't allow me to enjoy. I was not enjoying music so much, at least not the way I am enjoying music now. I was just judgmental with anything I do. And that same way, I will be so judgmental with my body. I will be so judgmental with myself all the time. So when I had to stop because of the pandemic and I got time to look at myself, then I realized all of this process and how much I wanted to come back to the little girl I was when all I wanted was to sing and play
Mm.
music. And all I wanted was to be a pop star when I was a little girl. And then I realized, how did I get so far away from that? Why did I stop listening to certain kind of music? And why I took away props from my life? And it was just because I'm a Black woman, a Latina Black woman. Because it's not the same to be a Black woman when you are in the Anglo side of the world than when you are a Latina Black woman.
Very true.
Because I didn't have any references to tell me that was possible. I didn't have a Latina Beyonce. I didn't have a Latina, I don't know, Rihanna. I didn't have a Latina Aretha Franklin. In the pop side, I had greatest voices like Christina Aguilera, but she doesn't look like me, or Selena Quintanilla, or I had other pop artists that I don't like. I don't know, Paulina Rubio. None of them, either I like or I don't like, will look like what I didn't have.
Mm.
For example, people compare me with Celia Cruz. I didn't have Celia Cruz because Celia was prohibited in Cuba. I never saw her music. I never saw her
Wow.
face until I left the island.
Wow.
So I didn't have any reference of Black women in the Latin industry killing it at all. The references I had are the references I'm telling you. And then I will be so connected with pop music, but always Anglo, and I am not an Anglo woman. And probably that's why I wanted to learn English and sing in English and songwrite in English, but I can change myself. So there was a moment that felt that jazz was more welcoming because in jazz they weren't judgmental physically the way they would be in pop music or in the pop side. All I needed was to be a killer player. So my focus was to become a killer singer, a killer songwriter, a killer performer. And I focused so much in shaping my skills and shaping my performance to be great. So it becomes like a sport, right? You are focused on gaining respect because the great performer you are. And then later, I discover and I realize that it's because jazz music, rumba music, uh, is considered cultural music, especially rumba, all of that. Or folkloric music is great for cultural centers. So me as a Black Latina woman, we are great for this type of stages. Cultural, folkloric, cultural center. Wow, wow, beautiful, but not to sell and not to take a private jet, not to be a pop star, not to kill it at the main stage. No, that's not for Black women like you. That's for other type of women. And when I realized that, all I need in life is to realize things because I'm not afraid of anything. I have emigrated 2 times, and someone that has just even immigrated once has a different type of fear in life because you already left all you knew behind to start a new life. So I did that twice. So it doesn't scare me to say the industry is a big monster. How are you gonna fight that? Because I cannot bleach myself. For me, it's okay, they will need to welcome me. I will make them welcome me. And then I will make them welcome more women like me. So basically, now Alchemy is my reason of life. So it's not just an album. It's trying to give my ancestors visibility. Uh, because they have been taken away from that. And I always put this example to make it more clear. If Bob Marley was a Dominican Republic person, we will never know about it. The thing is that we have Juan Luis Guerra to talk about merengue music, and I love that man so much. And nobody can tell me he's not a mastermind, right? But he's not the only one. If he's playing merengue and bachata, it's because Black people put that music there for him. Where is Black people of bachata, merengue, killing it the same way he's doing it? It because you don't see the pops, for example. Eminem, beautiful. And we had Mac Miller, and we had a lot of beautiful white guys that I love so much. But you cannot hide Tupac. You cannot hide Biggie. You cannot hide Jay-Z. You cannot hide Black history on hip hop. Hip hop is Black music and it's welcome. Everybody is welcome to join us. When we put music here, it's beautiful. Music is for everybody. But you cannot hide us when we brought the music for you. So that's the problem of the Latin industry, mainly. And that's my new inspiration of life.
Daime, from your answer, here's what I heard: talent versus image. What is more important for the music industry? Talent or image?
I believe they just want to sell. The problem is that they don't they have this misconception of what sells and what doesn't, what is not commercial. If my body was not commercial, we wouldn't have many Black women in these states killing it. It's just the conception they had. I have been seeing women like me with the same size of I have. Yeah, killing it, many, you name them. So it's not that my body is not commercial. It's not that my image is not commercial. Anything is commercial if you want to make it valuable. So it's not really about image. It's not also about talent. It's about what they think they can sell off. And this is a music business, right? So I understand the business, and I understand people have to make business because I don't have my own fund to invest and compete with the crazy amount of money they invest in a pop artist when you sign a record deal and you get a promotion campaign for $1 million, right? How can you compete with that? So I need business people to invest in my image, in my talent, in my music, and think that I can be a product that can have success. But I think it's like, how can I let them know that I am actually beautiful too? I am commercial too, that I can be as sexy as you can imagine too. So I had to think that for myself. I cannot project that if I don't believe it. So the biggest thing I had to break here was my own boundaries, telling me all the time, I'm not beautiful, I'm not sexy, I am not a woman that can seduce the crowd, seduce the camera, seduce my environment. Because merchandising is about seducing people. But you need to understand your power as a woman. That is not just about your shape. It's about how you see, what you see in the mirror when you look at yourself. So that's my alchemy now. And when I talk about alchemy, I always said it changed me. It transformed me. At the very, very beginning, I was focused on music. All I wanted was to make an album that made me dance and feel good. And now I have a new reason of life.
Mi madre, yo te quiero cantar. De corazón te vengo a decir que gracias, mamá, por tenerme aquí.
Because your music is a journey, I think you're a storyteller. When I listen to your music, you're telling stories. Even though I don't completely speak Spanish, I can still hear there's a lot of storytelling in there. But I am curious because I believe that as you create your art, or as you define your art defines you, I'm wondering, just in the process of making this album, what you learned most about yourself. Because you said you had to go beyond your own boundaries. So
What I learned about me, first of all, I finally met my power. I never understood my power. I will get impressed when I realized that someone was floating with me or something, because I felt I was nothing special, honestly. I understood now, and I finally discovered the power, for example, of my smile, when how things can change when you smile at adversities. When sometimes I am seated in a table with a big person in the industry, and they cannot handle my smile when they feel that this woman is in her center. She is in balance. I finally understood balance in life. balance between my spirituality, my energy, and my body. And many of us, we are not in balance. We are carrying a body as it was the way it's supposed to be. And our body is carrying our soul. It's totally the opposite. So we are not carrying a body. Our body is helping us to carry our soul. We have to be so grateful with our body. We are not. That's so weird. I I realized, and what I'm gonna say is maybe not too polite, but that's the way I feel it. I realized that many things that I saw in my body that it wasn't good or it wasn't beautiful. Now I understand that many people get it in a plastic surgery and they are trying to confuse me, saying that's the OG and I am the wrong thing. Like they are getting my lips in a plastic surgery, I don't know, in a cosmetic place. And I was raised as a girl saying, "Oh, you have big lips. That's not beautiful. You are bembona." That's what they call people with big lips. And now I'm like, people are trying to imitate my lips, and they have these same people that have been telling me that my lips are wrong. What are you talking about? Or I don't know. I When I was a kid, I got a reduction in my breath because I had a crazy huge breast. So they decided to reduce my breath. Now I understand the ancestors in my body of why I had that big breast to feed the war, to feed like the future generations. And then you see women with these crazy breasts full of plastic.
It's true.
You're
What a
like,
great metaphor. Yeah.
It's like
I mean,
everything that
what?
is supposedly that society has says is ugly about
That's right.
is now being imitated by
Exactly.
white women and everybody
Right.
else.
And they pay for it. They pay for it.
Exactly.
They
And they
pay to get
And I
tan,
think
to get
you're
fillers.
naturally black, bronze, brown, and you have big breasts and you have a big butt. That is considered today beautiful. And if you already have it, why do any surgery? Just be naturally, be yourself.
because this is the thing, is considered beautiful if it's like a fake tomato. This is a concept I created. This concept came because in the pandemic, me and my husband, we grew tomatoes in the garden. And I saw tomatoes organically for the first time, how they become a tomato from a tree, and then the tree has flowers, and then the flower becomes a little tomato. And we got 400 potatoes, and they were all different, and they will all taste different. But none of them will taste as the tomato you get in the store. But the tomato in the store is perfect. It has this perfect shape with this perfect green leaves on
Stem.
top.
Yeah.
And you think that's the real tomato. It cannot have imperfections, or what they call imperfections. So my concept with body is, they don't tell you like that big ass that you want comes with cellulitis. How can I say that in English? It doesn't come like that. That way you imagine is actually not real. It comes with body fat. And it's part of the flavor. So it's like they have been telling us and shaping our mind to say, "Oh, I like your booty, but I don't like your fat." And it's like, how did you came out with that idea that you can have one without the other? And now even many Black women are maybe not getting plastic, but they are getting fat out of their body to make that image of what is supposed to be nice or perfect. Just be because they think that that is the way to be beautiful. when they were already beautiful the way they were. So after tasting the real tomatoes, I understood the power and the beauty of just being natural, just being the way you are. The flavor that has is just amazing. It's incredible. Now, that's one of the reasons why I don't judge my body anymore when I see me on the mirror. People might say, Daime, you lost so many pounds. It's true. People that know me from the past, but I didn't went to a surgery or to a diet or to anything. Once I understood the power of my body and I started loving my body, I started dancing. I gave my body the power and the space and the moment to express freely. And I wanted to improve that. So I started taking dancing classes. And then I said, okay, but to gain more power in dancing, I need to go to the gym. And I started going to the gym, inspiring my dancing, inspiring, ready for what I wanted. Not because I want to become who I am, is not me. So that's another thing I learned from myself and I'm trying to share with people. How beautiful it is just to be you. It's something that once you realize it, is nobody's gonna take you out of that. It's a mindset that once you get it, oh, that's just strong to be destroyed.
Podía robar ese farol, incluso tomar su
I also see
calor.
what you're saying too, the metaphor of what's happening in the industry where there isn't or hasn't been space for an Afro-Latino or someone like you. Whether they've existed or not, pop doesn't know it.
We at least we had Tego Calderon, we had, I don't know, Romeo Santos. It is not right to have one or two, three, and four when the whole Latin reggaeton is and is the main thing in the Latin industry now. Reggaeton is pure black music, and it's like, what is the black
Right.
people, right? So it's unfair to say, oh, we have Tego Calderon. Like, it's man, no. That's the way you should say with white people in reggaeton. Oh, we have Bad Bunny, but look at all of these black people. That is the music of these people. Anyways, but it's not the same for women because women is a totally different topic. Even white women, the way we are treated, the way we have been seen, the way they sell or merchandise, we as merch. So I always say that in my past life, I'm pretty sure I was a white man, cisgender. And probably I was like in a short, has so solid guy, pretty. So I came back to resolve many things I helped to set up in society. Because we as women, the fight is way bigger than for the men. This is not even a huge topic if I was a man.
True.
Trust me.
You're only 32, but you've come a long way just in your career and your development. What do you tell, especially young girls of color, especially young girls that look like you? What do you say to them?
One of my main things in life now is that nothing is impossible. Like, impossible is not a word for me. The day people tell me that's impossible, that's the way I get more inspired. That's the day I'm like, now I'm going for it. So I have been fighting and changing rules in many ways. When I was young and I said I want to sing jazz, people told me, you're not gonna succeed because jazz is not commercial. And in Cuba, how are you gonna do that? Like, singing jazz in Cuba, you're not gonna make a penny. And then I said, no, but actually, I wanna I wanna be a songwriter, a jazz songwriter. And people are, but you don't even want to sing jazz standards. You want to sing your own music. Wow, girl, you are brave. And I was like, yes, I am. Now I'm trying to, after becoming like a reference for many women in jazz, especially Latina women in jazz. Now I'm going to fight for the same type of space in the big sharks market, right? And all I can say is that I'm gonna be a woman that I never stop because I hate the comfort zone. So young people, just stay away of the comfort zone. We didn't come to Earth just to be comfortable. We came here to change the world because the world need transformation.
Daime,
That's why I always say tradition wasn't a tradition. What the tradition was a revolution back then. So keep changing
Daime, you're
things.
like a philosopher.
Absolutely.
Eres como una
Absolutely.
filósofa.
That's why I say she seems like a teacher. Here's my wisdom of the day. Tomatoes.
You're
Right?
coming up with some like really original perspectives. Where do you get your confidence from, Daime? I don't want to speak for the world, but I want to speak for America at least. Here in the United States, we're going through a terrible time about mental health in women, especially young women. There is all types of body shaming. Clearly, there's racism that is happening in our country. We're more divided than ever. And a lot of young kids, especially Gen Zs, don't have the confidence that maybe previous generations had. Where do you get your confidence from, Daime? Who are the people that are fueling it? What is the thing that is fueling it? What makes you so authentically confident?
I'm gonna tell you three things. One is my household. I was born in a household where we were 14 people. So we had to share space of two bedrooms, one bath with 14 people. And I was born in 1992, which is one of the hardest years of the Cuban history. So we didn't have electricity every day. We didn't have food to eat. I'm coming from difficulties and adversities. I'm coming from poverty. And every single time I struggle, I look back to my household and I see those people, and this makes his second point, singing and dancing. My family will resolve every single problem through music. They weren't musicians. They just were Black people. And that's the way we Black people heal everything through music. Because that's the tool we got when our ancestors, our main power is music. So I see my family even in that difficult situation we had, using the things in the kitchen or the tables, anything will be a musical instrument to start the rumba and to light up the space.
Olupa chikini, chikini, Daymé chikini, chikini, awoyo chikini, chikini.
So music is always my tool to feel confident every day. And third, it's my life experience. I rather life experience teaching me instead society teaching me. The society might say many things. The society might say, you are not beautiful. But then when I walk down the street, the life experience tells me something different. the life experience tells me, oh, you were walking down the street and this lady said to you, what a beautiful smile. That's your life experience. I don't care if society is telling me I'm not beautiful. My environment, every single day, if you pay attention to your life experience, it is teaching you more than people's unconfidence. Because at the end of the day, what society tells you is just what makes them scared and unconfident. You don't have to take that to you. It's not yours. If someone tells me, for example, oh, I hate to see a fat woman in a bikini, I say to that person, it's your problem, it's your eyes. The one that has the problem is you. Me wearing a bikini, come on, I feel great in this bikini. It's your unconfidency. Don't send that to me. I don't need it. You want it, you give it. So in my life, all I have been doing is paying attention to what my own life is teaching me. That way, I don't spend time and energy in things that don't belong to me.
I'd like to talk just a little bit about the album. Is there any song in particular that on this album for you? I know there's one American Boy that you wrote a long time ago and that you only now could release, but are there any songs in particular that are particularly important to you that mean more to you than others?
Oh, many. For example, A Fuego Lento.
Me enamoras con tu luz, con lo dulce de tu voz, provocando un descontrol, desnudando esta pasión. Me seduce imaginar el vapor de tu humedad que me excita sin tocar.
Wrote it when I was like 19 years old. But I felt too scared to show the world as a woman that feels things sexually. I was scared about saying I would like to seduce instead you seducing me. I felt like that was too open for me, too open to express myself and to be me. So those are the things, the milestones, the things that I've been building, and the woman that I am now can look back and say that I have been through a lot and I have succeeded spiritually. Like from that woman that I was when I was 19, and I was so scared of showing myself as a sexual woman, because sex is part of life and we should be all allowed to feel and to express how we feel. Now I feel comfortable, totally comfortable to be me, but at that time that was too difficult and too heavy for me, especially because, as I said before, as a Black fat woman, I didn't feel comfortable to show that side of myself. So this album has many songs of my life experience. I always, when I talk about this album, I say, hey, I'm not telling you I'm a powerful woman or I was born powerful the way you see me. This album is going to tell you all I have been through. This album is going to tell you when I fell down, when I felt sad, when I felt destroyed. For example, this song, Coda.
Todo acabó, eso escuché decir. Dentro de tu voz sonó un final que no logro repetir. No hay solución. Yo no voy a insistir. Bajaste el telón y a tu señal la obra llegó a su fin. ¿Crees que murió el amor al filo de lo que fue? No hay reparación, no.
Like the most sad song. But it's gonna show you all my episodes and my feelings to tell you how I got here. I don't need to show off as a woman that never cried in her life, never felt uncomfortable with her body. You know, I've been through all of that, and that's why I can tell you. So basically, this album is just my own journey musically. The storytelling is made through music. At the end of the day, is music what helps me to continue. I realize that after every single situation I have been through, I get a song. So now, when I am, I don't know, in a weird situation with men or anything, I'm like, I'm gonna get a song out of this. Awesome. So
I love it.
I'm not worried anymore. I'm like, whoa, beautiful. This crazy story, inspiration is coming.
Daymé, here's our last question. Our show is called Brown and Black, and it's about Latino and Black unity. You're Afro-Latina, I'm Latino, Mike's Black. Both of us together are Afro-Latina. You're Afro-Latina.
Yes.
How can we come together better? How can we all become metaphorically Afro-Latinos? How can we all understand each other, love each other? How do you create brown and Black unity today?
Anyway, the thing is that we are the same thing. We are perdosado. We are mixed race. We are not Africans. We are not indigenous. We are mixed, all of us. We are the result of a blend. And when you put things in a blend, when you put all the all the ingredients in a blender, how can you separate that? That's impossible. So it's society who is telling us that we are different. We are not. We all got in the same blender. We just had different development, different life stories, but our ancestors are the same. That's why when I go to a Black church in the States, I feel as elevated as if I was in a Bembe in Cuba. I feel exactly the same way. I hear the same ancestors. So we Latinos, Afro-Latinos, and Black people, we all are one because we are the power of unity. We just don't know it, or we don't realize it, or we don't want to pay attention to it. I don't feel that someone, because it's lighter skin than me, is different because their melanin and my melanin. If you were born in this side of the world, you're eating the same sofrito I'm eating. You are dancing the same way I'm dancing. You are probably more similar to me than a person in Africa. So that's what we have to understand. And don't let society anymore teaching us things that they don't help. That's my thing. And that's why I believe we have to share this type of messages because we need to unite more.
Bailando soy pegado cuerpo a cuerpo, sin vitrina ni reloj, bailando solo tú y yo. Bailando soy pegado cuerpo a cuerpo, sin vitrina ni reloj, bailando solo tú y yo, tú y yo.
And That's it for this episode of Brown and Black. We'd like to thank Daymé Arocena for coming on the show. And if you would like to support this podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. Your help will allow us to be heard by many more people. Next episode, our guest will be legendary Afro-Latina percussionist and singer, Sheila E. Here's a quick preview of what to expect.
But I learned always that you put your mind to it and you put in the work. And a lot of times artists especially don't want to put in that work. And I know what it is to have to put in that work. And I put in the work and I'm continuing to put in that work. And it doesn't matter how young I am these days, it is more challenging, but I'm putting in the work. And it means then even more work. And you got to keep pushing. Just don't give up. You just got to keep pushing.
You can follow our comments and opinions on @BrownBlack Podcast on Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. We'll see you on the next episode
of Brown and Black.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.